and welcome back to Opally Hour, and today we are starting day 2 of our Holo Magic City. So tough for me. I'll tell you, if you watched yesterday you know exactly what I mean. Alright, so yesterday we made a bunch of books, and we put 2 on little stands like so. This one's the butterfly one. And then we made another book which opens, and we made these ones with the stickers that are not lined up. I realised why they were too big is because the stickers normally would be smaller than the stencil for them so that you could peel them. Unfortunately mine, as we all know now, come in like 10 million different pieces because it's misaligned on the backing. And we have a cute little box, so we've used a couple of boxes in here that we made also. We have a little urn, we have, if I turn it around, a key. I'm kind of wish I'd coloured it gold actually, the key, to make it really stand out. I'm not sure, I might, I don't think I can slip in there. Made some scales which I'm really happy with. I think it had nodules on the top of these scales to go into the bottom of there, but I didn't see them. I may have even sandpapered them off. We have the other book which is in its frame and looking very good, and we have a little book on a flyer. So that's where we are. So let me get things ready for today. I've actually pulled a lot of pieces. They do take a long time to pull these pieces. I mean, probably at least an hour I would go with. And the other thing that I'm missing from my set, so maybe this is what we're missing from that open packet, was is some paint. So I would have used my marker anyway, but it's not the point. I am actually missing paint. So we are starting with, let's see, a little display stand. So I'm going to go and get my black markers, bring in what we need, and we will get started and just put these to one side. I have a little tray that I'm going to pop them on until we need them. I think we're going to be needing the box and some of the books actually quite soon. But let's make a start for today. Okay, a couple of things I noticed. One, I was missing that paint. Number 2, some of these parts are incredibly delicate and have broken on me. Not, is it for this step? Yes, there's one, which is a picture frame, and you can see it did break. Very delicate, but it's kind of okay because I'm going to be sticking it to a piece of paper, so I'm not too worried about it. These little stickers are going to go on the bottles, and yes, they are a little bit of a pain in the butt to cut out, and it's very difficult on these white ones, or the very faded ones, to know where the line is. So I think this one might need trimming in more. Anyway, there are 5. Now, although I could take them off of here because we're going to need to, for the purposes of this moment, I'm going to leave them on. Also have some books I have ready. Did I ready fold them? I did. I already scored them, ready to go. Showed you that yesterday, so I'm not going to bore you with a repetition of this. So we need our gold marker, or the gold paint if you've got it. It did come with a brush. I did think it was a bit weird. And what you want to do, and I don't think it's going to show whatsoever, is just colour the tops of the bottles. I have tried to get that key. I know I said about it, and then when I was putting it to one side and I grabbed my gold paint, it's like, well, I'll just give it a go. You never know. This one probably is just this top bit, actually. I mean, I guess you can see a difference. It's not mega. I mean, it's going on plastic, so probably don't expect too much from it. So just going around there. Probably not got much gold left in here, I wouldn't have thought. I've used it quite a bit for some of the other wood builds. Alright, so we will be using 4 of these, I think, in this step. But now where did I put my glue? I wasn't quite as organised as I thought I was. I thought I was very organised, but I'm not so much. Let me get all this out of the way for the moment. So we are starting with the bottles. So you want a little bit of glue on each of the faces of these bottles. B7000 is rather stringy, so sorry, I keep finding bits that I haven't got rid of. So tweezers are clean, so we will see how long that stays. So you want a little bit of glue on each one, a little bit I say, so I seem to be able to produce rather a lot without any pressure whatsoever. Just try and get rid of the invisible string if you're using B7000. Okay, and let's see, let's get rid of that too. The first one is this one, I believe. I reckon I've got to cut it more. What do you think? I think so. I think it just needs that little circle. Alright, let's see what I could do. Try and do it quick before all the glue dries. I'm just going to wear it now instead. Almost done, guys. I should have looked at the picture beforehand, but I did not. So these scissors I think are for kids, other than the fact that they are pointy, but they do have, they're reasonably sharp. The pink one here I've used before, so it's not as sharp as it was, but I have a yellowy orangey one which is for hopefully non-paper related. That's the idea, so it stays sharper for longer. My purple one, it came with a set of 4. My purple one went first. It's not perfect, but it's going to go on. But if I can get it off me, oh, stuck to me. Come on, guy, off you come. I know it's probably going to stick to the tweezers. Okay, so you want the round one on there. It should have been a bit tighter on my cuts. String. Hey, that's a good start, isn't it? A good start for a day. I should have been tighter on my cut, guys, but it is a little, very small piece. Next one is this one, which I was also worried about the cut on it because it's just so hard to see. But I think I can go along here and cut these in a bit better. Anyway, this one's the second one in. I'll show you which ones and then I'll just put them on. That one's the second one. This one I believe is the third one in. This one the fourth, and this one the last. So let me get them cut in a bit better now. I can compare it to the bottles, which I hadn't done before, and we'll get them on there and I will show you the result. Okay, they're on. They're not in the order that they said because I had it back to front, but I changed some of them around and kind of just put them on as best I could. Now, if you are lucky enough that your stickers work for you, these are stickers. So you can probably just peel and stick and you won't be having to cut them out like I did. So I do hope that yours are stickers. I mean, to be honest with you, I've had it a while now. If I had realised that there was such a problem with the build, like the missing paint that I'm not going to use, but still, and the stickers not being stickers, really, I mean, technically if they don't line up to be stickers, they're not stickers. So anyway, I'm going to leave this to dry a minute before I take them off. While I am doing that, I am going to get my broken frame working over here, and this is just going to go on this piece of background, so just a tiny bit in each corner if I can. I want to get the paper too, evidently. Sorry, I'm getting sticky now after doing all those labels. And B7000 is a pain in the butt to remove. Okay, I'll just put this on here, and because it is being stuck to a base, that's why I didn't try and mend it. However, there is another little piece coming up, not in this particular part of the build, which is our display stand, but in another, which will need mending. But again, I'll probably mend it as we go. It also needs painting, so, but this one will be okay. And this is going to be our tray to put our drinks on, so I'm going to give this a moment to take. Go over here. And then we are going to pop some books here. We'll do those in a minute, or I'll do one, and then I'll just go and do these off camera. So it's exactly the same as what we did yesterday. Concertina them, in and out, and then wrap them with the outer edge. And we have 6 of these to do, and we are going to use one in this part of the build, and I need to bring that box back as well for the stand. So let's get these in here. And this would be cool if it was the right one that we're going to be using. Let's see. No, I think it's a red one. I think it's this one here that we are actually going to be using. But that one's done. So I'll make the base here, which should be quite straightforward, and then make the rest of the books. So the base is just literally popping them, let go. I'm going to sort out my hands afterwards, so they're not painted on the edges. You probably could. I think from what I can gather on the pictures, you don't see an awful lot of what's inside each room. So it's like separate rooms, and each one of them has quite a bit of detail, and I think you have to look quite closely. So hopefully your guests and people who view these do that, because that would be kind of cool. And then the base. Pretty sure this is the base. Yep. I'm going to get pop some wood glue on there. I also need to tidy up my glue anyway. The actual bottle, I mean. So put that like that. Turn it over. Put that back in. It is quite loose fit. And this should be enough to hold it together. A little bit of wood glue on there. Dollops. Okay, I will be back in a minute once I've done the books and everything's dry enough to handle, and I've sorted out my glue situation that I've got going on my hands. I'll be back. Okay, so these have had plenty of time to set in reality, including to the paper. So all the books are made, didn't take long, because of that pre-scoring really helps. This is peeling for me, lovely. And it's Corbett paper. Okay, not a big deal. So all we want to do with this is actually quite straightforward. Is we are going to put our thingy on here, and then we're going to put stuff in it. Not sure what it says. Can you see what it says? Probably if I don't have my tweezers right in between. I don't know, and I don't know which way you'd want it to face either. I think I'm just going to put mine here, and then on the edge is the red book cover. Guess that's as red as I have, I think. Probably could do purple. Purple's quite nice. It looks a bit like this one, so I think that one. So, and that goes on this side along with our Bartlett, what was it, Bartlett dowel box, which will go underneath, and then we'll put the little bottles in. So let's get my Bartlett box in there. Doesn't matter which side. Doesn't need too much. Can I get it up right in there? Alright, sorry about that. So the box is in. I mean, it's either this picture or this one. This one I think looks a bit better, and it just goes in flat. And then we want a bit of glue with the book on this side. I need to remember to put my pin in this thing, and that won't get all clogged up at the end. And our tray on this side. Let me get that sorted. Clear this off. Managed to keep a Kleenex from the puppy. This is shock horror, but she's currently pulling the insides out of one of her toys. I think it's because she knows I don't like this sort of thing. Okay, and depending which way you want it, depends on how you want your book to face. So it looks like you want it straight at the front. That's kind of what I'm getting from the picture. I can guarantee that that's correct. And then bottle wise, we need, let's see. Let me turn the page. What order do we need this? We need 4 of them. So you want to get your pin things. You want the big one in the middle. Let's kind of go towards the back. Do you need 4 or do you need 3? Possibly you can get away with 3. You need one of the long ones, probably this one. It's very difficult to tell, maybe this one. Oh, pinged it all over the show. And a short stubby one, which I guess would be this one. So it looks just like, oh no, I think it is 4. I can't very well tell, to be honest with you. 4, it's 4. And the other tall one then, and that'll save you this, sorry, trash men have just arrived. Of course they did. So that just gives you that one over, as far as I'm aware. And then what you want to do is you want to get your sandpaper. I'm just going to use the one that they gave me, it's handy. I haven't put it away yet, just to make sure it's flat at the bottom for sticking in there. And then you can kind of display it how you want. So this is my front, this side is going to be the front. So just bear which side is your front and which one's going to be the back, because you want the taller ones at the back, funny enough. State the obvious, right? Okay. Gold looks quite nice on the tops of these actually. I don't know how much of it you can see, but it does look quite nice. So like this one's got a little bit of gold towards the top. Looks alright. Not perfect, but alright. Considering I didn't particularly do it perfect. A little bit of glue in the bottom here. Gun glue, you're normally the glue of giving. Ooh, long string. Okay, and so at the back we're going to want you. Which doesn't really want to stay up. We will put this skinny one in front. So hopefully that'll help it stay up. Okay, gonna face it to me guys, 1 second. Oh, I tipped my tweezers in the glue, never good. Not such a good idea. This one looks like it's a drunk bottle of drink. And you're going to be using, I think we're going to be using the last bottle quite soon. Wow, can't get these straight at all. Alright, breathe deeply. And then the fat one, probably at the front, the little fat one here. At the front so it can be seen. And this other tall, skinny one back here when I can pick it up. My new other set of tweezers that hasn't been in the glue. yet anyway. There's no glue that side. It all went to one side. Okay, pop this one in here. And lastly, this little one to the front of that. And move you forward a bit because it's fallen over, and I will show you how we're looking. And that is this part complete, you'll be pleased to know. So what we have over is lots of books, one bottle, the other books from last time, and that's what I've done. Like I said, just use 4 bottles, and it's up to you how you want to do it, but I think that looks okay. Hey, they're all still in there, I think. Look like they've gone back a bit, but they are there. And your book as well on the side here. So that's roughly how they want it to be. So next up, we are going to do the rest zone, R-E-S-T, which sounds a fun thing to do. So let me put this stuff to one side to dry, or at least this piece, and I will move these books out the way. And this one, and that bottle, I'm just going to leave it on the sprue just so I know where it is. And we are going to be using this little pieces here. So this is where one of them did break, and you also want it painted gold, and that's this piece here. So we will be doing that, but I'm probably going to do it, I don't know how I'm going to do it. So first things first, we are using our frame, which didn't break, on our red backing, which I think is quite a shame really to cover this up, but that is what we are going to do. So none of this is stickers. I don't even know if we got stickers on this step. And so we do 2 things, make 2 things for this step, this tray that we're doing now, and a table. So just line it up. And then inside there is going to have our last bottle and a glass on equal sides. So something like that, and our glass here, and that can go for drying. That's our first one done. Like I said, this part isn't particularly detailed. It's not too bad at all. So take this one off. Don't need that anymore. Get my little bit of sandpaper that I have with me. My paper cut from the bottom, and this is going to go in here. So again, it's up to you how you do it. They kind of have it a bit at an angle here, like so. And then your glass, which is ready-made, you don't have to make this, just in here. And that goes to one side to dry. And that, my friend, is this piece done. You see it? It's simple. Simple step. Next we are going to make a table, and this is where it differs a little bit, I guess. So our table has 2 pieces which come together like this. That's not a problem. They come together very easily. Too easily. So do a little bit of glue on here. Hold it in place, just using a bit of wood glue there. Keep my pin there. I'm terrible. I'm notorious at dropping my pins. want to be famous for anything, it's dropping my pens, I think. Then a little tabletop. Whee! Which again, these are all wood. I can't remember if this piece is a sticker or not, I'll tell you in a second. All the stickers have a D number before them, and this one's not, so it's an I, which is paper, which is fine, because I don't trust the stickers anyway. And then just make sure that that's roughly even. Easier probably to do upside down to see. Just a bit better than it was. Turn it up the right way. Wood glue has a decent hold, especially if I can make up my mind on how I want it. And then you just put your paper on top, your table cover. Although the plain one's just as okay if you didn't want to do this. Just leave it open because I'm going to need it any second. So give this a squiggle around. Make sure that that is on. Okay. Then we are going to put on our map, which is a map of the world. Or is it? I thought it was a map of the world, but now I'm not so sure. Kind of looks like... I don't know. I'm not saying anymore. I think it's a map of the world. And this just goes straight in the middle, basically. And just like so. Doesn't have to be straight, doesn't have to be centered. Just kind of on there, really. Okay. Then we have a pen going, a ink pen, which is going to go on here. And we have our magnifying glass, which is what got broke. Alright, so that was very rudely interrupted. We had an electrical blip that knocked everything out, including mobile phones. Very, very bizarre. Anyway, I'm in the process of trying to salvage the first part of this recording, so hopefully it's worked and you will just see a normal video. Let's hope, otherwise it's going to have to be a really weird voiceover. Alright, so we were in the middle of putting this on. This is on, it's been down a while now. And next we are going to put a tiny little feather inside, which is very, very cute. And these come ready done, so they're very cute. And we have to make another one as well, so I'm going to do both of those at the same time. Before that, I'm going to get this. This is the magnifying glass, so they want you to have a gold top to it, and like I say, they provided the paint, just not to me, and all of the bit that's not broken should, funny enough, be gold. Or rather, I should say what I meant. Where it has got the break is all meant to be gold, and the rest of it not. So how strange is that it actually broke at the right spot. So just going to try and go around that edge. Gold's pretty good to take too, and this is pretty good quality wood. Haven't really had any complaints about that. So that is my little gold done. Very simple. So now what we can do is get this on the table along with, oh, I should have had this more to the back, so let me put it that way. Oh, there's a book. Hold on, let me get my right book. Let's see what one it is. Bum, 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 bum. Does it say which book it's going to be? It does not. Even in my little outline, it doesn't say which one. But it is a bluish colour one. So let's see. It's more green. That's kind of blue. Is that like the one they want? Not really. Maybe it's one I did the other day. Maybe, I think it's like this one, which I'm going to have that way up because it's formed a bit better. So 3 pieces of glue then, one for the book, one for the magnifying glass. So put one in here for my feather, one in this one for the feather. Oi, don't you start. Let's get one of my magnifying tweezers that need sorting anyway. Go up that way. Okay, a bit for the book, which is 2. Trying to get it at the right angle here. So it's kind of towards the back with a book on this side and the magnifying glass over here. So let's see if we can get this roughly right. Okay, so let's pop my little feather in first. I think these are actually a lovely part of the design, to be honest with you. Let's not drop it. Okay, so just pick it up with the hands then. And you want it in, gosh. It's a shock on my internet all playing up. Can't believe it did that really. So they have it that the spine is towards the outside, which makes a lot of sense. Like so. And then the magnifying glass, I'm going to see if I can mend it as we go, basically, as we put it on there. Just goes kind of this towards the middle and the handle, just a tiny little bit next to it. So let's see, is there any side better than any other? Not really, not particularly. Oh, although it's going to go on the end. Looking at how it is. I'll just try and get that as close as I can so it will look something like so. I think this book needs to come forward a bit. This isn't going to move because I put this down a while ago. Pesky electric. Right, and this is our rest station done with a spare feather. Go over there. So for the rest station we had the tray and the little table. So next we have, is that the rest station? Yeah. Next we have is a development zone, and this is the last part that I have pulled for today. So my table doesn't want to stand up. I put it to the drying area and it said no. Get rid of those. We will be needing this stuff and lots of other bits. So there's lots of very small pieces on this, but it should be quite straightforward. Lots of very small pieces. So first of all, I'm going to get the wood parts done, which is kind of the last thing they have you do. So I'm going to get that done first, so all you pieces can go up here out the way. Okay, evidently my Windows is about to shut down. Okay, I will be back. Okay, it's like today's fated as far as my builds go. Alrighty, so let's see. So we have 4 of these pieces and 2 boxes to make, and these are our back strap boxes and fronts, sides rather, and ends. So a little bit of wood glue, because actually we'll put them together, we'll do what we did before, put them together and then put wood glue in afterwards. That worked quite well. So I'm going to get these going. They're very loose fits, unlike the Sunshine Town. Almost too loose. Well, we kind of want them loose. I'd rather them loose and not break than too tight. So I think we're going to have to wood glue as we go, guys. I'll just put a thin layer around everywhere but this end, otherwise I get covered in it. But like I've said before, wood glue is a lot easier to get off than other types of glue. Let's put this one in here. And wood glue even sticks quite well. I think what it is the program I was using to try and save the file, which did work by the way, we're okay. I did a setting which says shut down when you're done. I didn't realise it meant shut down the computer. I thought it meant just shut down the program. So if I ever have to do it again, now I know. But it does mean that when in the past that I've had to be like, okay, I had a computer problem and this is what happened, because this has happened to me before. If the computer shuts down or there's an electric blip and it shuts everything down, it makes the file, my computer remembers the file, but it makes it unreadable by the editing software. Okay, that's one done. Not too bad. And this one I'm just going to glue directly. And wood glue is quite good to hold. This one's quite messy. It came out very messy, and that's okay. And now of course my phone's catching up with, oh look, you had a problem, we need to let you know that we've saved everything. Which is nice. I mean, I sound like I'm knocking it, I'm really not. But my goodness, this video has had a few issues, hasn't it? Okay. One more, and then these boxes can dry and we can do things and put things on them with them being reasonably stable. They're actually quite nice. Like I said on the sunshine tan one, I'd rather glue things because they're too loose than break things because they're too tight. I am going to get that review done. I'm working on it, along with other reviews for other videos that I have done, or even models that I'm going to get done. I said I would do it before this, but hey, I'm keen to get this one going. I've had it quite a while. I've been wanting to do it a while. I need to get some more Roca bills, but I'm a bit disappointed with the last one, really. There's a globe one I'd really like to do. It might be a while. I'm going to put it on my list for my birthday, which is several months away. I'm pre-thinking, pre-planning models for my birthday. So if you've got ideas, let me know. Alright, let's add two boxes. One which will be flat, like this, but upside down. And the other one will be on its end. So that's that done. Now the bits and pieces to go inside, which we'll be using B7000 for. Okay, first of all, let's get this under me, because there's lots of beads and things for this one, so it's going to be more, some of which doesn't even look like we're going to be using it for this step. That's interesting. Why am I making it now then? Okay, who knows. Right, first of all, we are going to be using this stuff, and we need this little container, which looks white in the photo but gold in the pick list. Actually looks white in the pick list too. Hold on, let me see if I got the right piece. Okay, glad I checked. There was a silver one as well. So what we're going to do is take a tiny bit of this stuff. It has the sandpaper inside it. Okay, don't need that. And we are going to put a little dab of glue inside here. I'm not quite sure what this represents, by the way. because we are also putting in a fork with it. So you'd think it was something to eat, wouldn't you? But you don't really see the fork. All you do is see the end of it. Anyway, let's do as are told that this is what they want. So a little bit of this. Don't forget it needs much stringy stuff. Probably got too much, I'd say. Okay, let me give that a minute to set, and then I'll give it a trim. How about that? Because that has a little fork which is here. Just that tiny thing here that goes in it as well. Or maybe I should put that in and then trim it all afterwards while we have it reasonably wet down there of glue. And it goes like that, but a bit tidier. Oi, go back in there. Forks like, no, it's overcrowded in here. You won't see my beauty. You'd have thought they'd put it in a gold one, wouldn't you, to match the fork. Anyway, I'm going to pop that just over there until we trim it. So next is this little baby here with this one on top and this bead. So we want this up the other way. And I wonder, is the hole big enough for a toothpick? And do I have a toothpick to hand? I don't believe I do, but I do have this. Does it fit? No. I was thinking it'd be easier to line up, wouldn't it? But we're not going to be blessed with that. So on the top of here, we are going to sit this other one without it going upside down, hopefully. It really, really wants to go upside down. Well, gosh. I don't think anyone else has as much problem with B7000 as me. Or I never see it. I mean, it always looks perfect for them. Okay. So you say, why do you use it? It's multi-purpose. It's a glue that does work quite well. I have a build coming that I believe they give a free sample of this. Of course it might be removed like my paint. We will find out when it comes. And the little white bead can just drop in there. Looks rather nice, doesn't it? And that can go off for drying. You can go out of the way. Don't think we need this anymore. Or this one. Then we are going to have these little purple beads, which are just going to have, what they're going to have, they are going to sit on top of these. And I think, for the want of being messy, I'm going to use, or for the not want to be messy, I'm going to use a bit of tacky. Because it does dry clear. I know it's going to look white, but it will dry clear. And pop that on top. Big sigh. this one can have this one on it. It can. It might be chasing me around, but it can. Okay. Then, let's see, next we have these pretty blue ones, very pretty beads. And these are going to be covered with the things we used on the scales. So they do have holes in them. I've got a pin. I think I've got a pin to use them. I do, but I have to catch them first. You know it's alright catching them if I don't have the thing to hand that I'm going to need. So we're going to want this on next. And I can go in there. And I'm going to give that a minute before I put the next part on. So there is another part to this. Or maybe just do it without the pin and just get messy. So it goes something like so. Okay, you can both do your thing for a moment. That's going to have a top to it in a minute. I'm going to give it a second for it to dry somewhat, so that can go with the other stuff waiting for various things. Very pretty. Next we are going to take one of these gold beads, these tiny ones, and a strip of wire, which, by the way, which is very clever, they put on the board a template of how long they want it. What do you know? So just out of here, you can probably cut it with scissors. I can't imagine it being too difficult. Put the wrong bit to one side, and this goes through one of these. Oh, and I'm going to need some more of that green stuff that we just used. Anyway, fold it in half. And twist. Right, I'm pretty impressed with myself because I'm not very good at twisting things, so that's good. Then in here is going to go more of that green stuff and the thing we just made. I'm just going to stick with tacky, I think, for a little bit. It spreads quite nicely, doesn't it? And you can see where everything is, which is a big plus. Let me just get more of this out of the bag once we can open it. The scissors. Probably could use half the one that's in the other pot, couldn't we, really? Push that in. I'm going to use my gluified ones, doesn't really matter. And then I grab our little thing here and put it in. It's a lot longer than what theirs is. Oh, there we go, that's a bit better. And that is about right. Oh, you couldn't see any of that. Okay, put the little green stuff in with some tacky and popped our thread that we just made with it, and it's about the right ratio compared. I'm gonna go wash my hands, I'll be back. Alright, so next we have this board with this. and these are going to go together. So I'm going to put this B7000 to one side and have a break from it. And I have decided that I don't like it today. And this is Elmer's, Aileen's, sorry, tacky glue. I think this is probably a sticker. It is. I wonder if we can grab the sticker from it, if it's going to come in one piece. May not be able to now I've done all that. Now you see, even then, it's actually got a break down here as well as the top, so no. Very silly. And a wee bit annoying, so I had to put it on the back here, let it dry, and then I guess I'll just cut it in. This Aileen's tacky glue dries clear as well, by the way. Alright, so in the back of one of these boxes we are going to be putting our butterflies. So I think with this build, by the way, if you're a little bit against anything like pinned butterflies, I mean, I'm not for it either particularly, but it is a picture, and you know, if you go to a museum you're going to see it as well, but just bear that in mind, it does have quite a bit of that sort of thing with it, I think. You want it just at a slight angle. Did I do that off camera? Yeah, I thought I was getting so much better with that. And in here will go this little globe from the end here, because this is our upright one. So tacky, which is really pretty, by the way. Look how beautiful that is. It's really pretty. And that's going to go inside, because this is going to be upright like so. So just make sure you're roughly even, or evening, depends how you want to look at things. So this picture that's drying is also going to go on here along with this one, which needs our trimming. So I'm going to get my other little scissors, which should be a little sharper, and give it a little haircut, because it went a bit crazy. It's probably okay. Go over there. So on top here you want the handle at the front. You're going to need to put this picture, but I want to give that time to trim it. I normally keep this glue, by the way, upside down, because it does take a moment to come through, and they have the little fork pointing towards where the picture's going to go, so it's going to sit there and do its thing. This one we are turning over, and I know we've still got to finish off a couple of the beads, but we can start getting them on. So our big pot with the other green stuff in, and the little hook we made is going to go here. We have a book that I thought I brought through, but I don't know what I've done with. Going to go over here along with a poster, another newspaper article. The other thing is, some of the newspaper articles might be a little bit conflicting too, so just be careful on what you put where. So I mean, I don't personally get that phased by a lot of stuff, so it's not such a thing for me, but it could very well be for you. So I'm pop this towards the back here, and fold it at the front down. So I'm going to just have it on all sides going down. So I'm going to pop this towards the back. Whoops, stuck to the paper. Kind of defeats the purpose, doesn't it? Then you're going to put a book on. I actually don't know what I've done with the book, or maybe I decided I was just going to use one of these. It's actually really difficult to tell which books you're using. It doesn't define them in the instructions which books they are. Maybe we use this one. And this needs to be the opposite side, so I'm going to need my glue back. Let's put a bit of glue on you down there, and down here, and on here. I know it looks messy, but it won't. You've got to trust me when I say it just won't. Put our book here. You just hold this a minute. Okay, this book really wants to open, by the way. It's a very opening book, more than most. I don't particularly want to put glue on it to make it a bit more closed, however, it's a bit extreme. Okay, and then we are going to put 2 of these on. So the blue one needs something else done, but the purple one can go on here, and it's kind of nearer to the pot, so over here, like just in front of it, and then the blue one can go next to it, and then we will add our little extra bit onto it in a moment. So we're going to have over one of each type of bead. This is not going to fit on there, it's too big. And I dropped it. Oh, let me go find it. Well, I have no idea. Might be lost forever. Might have to go, maybe I should go without the blue bead on here. That could work, because I don't know where it went. It went on the floor. Could be in the dog bed, but she's in there right now, so I am not going to be disturbing her. So I'm going to make this one, the other one, to show you what needed to be done. And I think this one's big enough without it anyway. Maybe where this one goes will be better. Right, I can go to my drying area too. Okay, now my only annoyance is this book is too open. So I'm thinking, grab some of the glue and give it a little stick. Alright, take 4 for today's recording. So that was another electric blip, which knocks out, by the way, mobile phones, everything, so it was weird. On saying it, it gave me an opportunity to find our little fella. So that's found, and I have trimmed in the picture, but this is the last we are doing today, and when I can get the lid off the tacky, we'll finish this. I got the book sorted as well, so this picture's just going to go towards the back here. I mean, the only downside of this glue is the fact it could do with a thinner nozzle, really, that's it. But it is what it is. So this is not very straight. There's my tweezers. So what I ended up doing was putting a bit of glue on the paper for this. Okay. See if I can squeeze you in there. Move you along maybe. And now we'll go and repair another file, because it seems to corrupt my files when we have something like that. So that's what we have with that. And we can put our picture on, like so. And I don't know if there's anything going to go on the side of it, so just make sure, I guess, that it does not go over the edge, although it does look like it is a bit in the photo. So just have that going upright. This tacky glue is pretty good, but it's not a miracle worker. It still needs a little bit of help. So I am going to lie it on its side, and that should make sure that it goes right. how we want it. All right, so that is what I'm going to finish with today. So we've actually done quite a lot for today's pieces. Let's have that looking the right way for you. So we have this. I'll put this one up in a minute. We have our little tray of goodies. We have our little table with our pen, which will be going this way. I've done with that going around more. Oh, there we go, I can still move it. And we have this, plus we made another pen. I don't like it like that. Plus we made another pen, and another blue bead, plus another purple bead here. So we've made both of those as well. And we did the two little plants to finish this off, and some more books. So that is it for today. That's as far as I am going to go. I don't trust my electric to go much further, really. Not the electric's fault. But like I say, it actually blew out everything. Mobile phones went out, and all sorts of things. So couldn't even make myself a cup of coffee. What's wrong with that picture, huh? So let's pop them on here. Although my desk is getting sadly very messed up these days. Alrighty, so let's have a look at what we will be doing tomorrow. So we've got quite far. Tomorrow we are doing a liquid medicine cabinet. Okay. We are, which I think is going to use the other two beads that we have left over. In fact, I'm pretty certain it is, although it tells you to make more, so I don't know. Or maybe we just are making more. I don't understand if we are. All right, anyway, so we're going to make a liquid medicine cabinet. We are also making, two. So 1 and 2. And if we have time, then we will also make what they call a cabinet, which is a much bigger piece, which is full of photographs, which probably involve stickers that aren't going to work right for me, and a nice backdrop actually. So let's hope that we can get that far. We also, if we do get that far, we will be making a cape, but if not, a cape, C-A-P-E. If not, it will be the day after. We'll be on day 4. So thank you very much for joining me. Like I say, we are actually getting quite far, and it's moving right on along. So we'll put all these with our little tray of bits and pieces that I have going on right now, get them all dried up, and I will see you again tomorrow. So please do leave any comments, and like and subscribe, and also, most of all, take care of you. You know you want to. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.